There is a very deep reason why this message has reached you at this moment in your life. It is not just a random event or a lucky coincidence. It feels like a reply to something your heart has been quietly asking for without using words. Lately, you may have noticed a soft pressure inside your chest, or a warm feeling that comes and goes. At times, there may also be restlessness that you cannot clearly explain. It can feel like you are waiting for something important, even though you do not know what that something is. Your inner self seems to be more sensitive right now. You might feel small emotional shifts during the day, or sudden sadness without a clear reason. There can also be moments where you feel hopeful for no visible reason, as if something good is nearby but still out of sight. It may even feel like you're expecting someone special, even though there are no clear plans or signs in your outer life. This is not something strange or something to fear. It is simply a phase where your thoughts and emotions are becoming more open and aware. What you are feeling is often connected to change. It is a quiet preparation period in your life. You are becoming more aware of your own emotions, your needs, and what you truly want from love and connection. You might sometimes feel confused by these feelings. One moment you feel strong and independent, and the next moment you feel a deep longing for closeness. This back and forth is part of your emotional growth. It is helping you understand yourself better. It may seem like something is approaching in your life, especially in matters of the heart. This feeling can make you more observant of small details in your daily routine. Even simple moments may start to feel meaningful or symbolic. There is a sense that a new emotional chapter is beginning. It is not fully visible yet, but it feels like a shift is taking place behind the scenes of your life. You are being guided by your experiences, even the difficult ones, toward a deeper understanding of love. This is not about obsession or unrealistic expectations. It is about emotional maturity and readiness. You are learning what kind of love feels right for you and what kind of love does not. At the same time, there is also growth happening on another level. The idea is that both people involved in a future connection are going through personal development. Each person is learning important life lessons in their own way. One person may be learning patience, emotional balance, and honesty. They may be going through challenges that help them let go of past habits, old patterns, or emotional wounds. This process can feel difficult, but it helps them grow into someone more stable and understanding. This period of transformation is not meaningless. It shapes how a person sees love, trust, and commitment. It helps remove confusion and replaces it with clarity about what truly matters in a relationship. You may also be going through your own form of preparation. This can include learning self-respect, setting boundaries, and understanding your emotional needs more clearly. Even moments of loneliness can become lessons in self-awareness and inner strength. Sometimes, waiting periods in life feel long and uncertain, but they are often filled with invisible growth. While nothing seems to be happening on the surface, a lot can be changing inside a person's mindset and emotional world. It is important to understand that timing in life is not always immediate. Some connections take time because both people need to become ready in their own ways. If things happen too early, they might not have the emotional stability needed for a healthy relationship. During this time, you may feel like life is repeating itself or staying still. But in reality, inner changes are taking place. These changes slowly shape how you will experience future relationships and emotional bonds. You may notice moments where you feel hopeful again after feeling tired or doubtful. Then later, you may feel uncertain once more. This emotional cycle is part of adjusting to new inner awareness. The idea here is not that something magical is guaranteed to happen in a specific way, but that emotional readiness plays a big role in how people connect with each other. When people grow, their choices in love also change. There is also a belief that meaningful relationships are built on mutual understanding rather than control or fear. A healthy bond is one where both people feel safe to be themselves without pretending or hiding who they are. In such a connection, communication becomes easier. There is less need for guessing or overthinking. Both people try to understand each other instead of trying to change each other. Respect becomes a natural part of the relationship. It shows through actions, not just words. Small things like listening carefully, remembering details, and showing consistency become important signs of care. In a strong emotional bond, both people support each other's growth. They do not limit each other's freedom. Instead, they encourage each other to become better and more confident individuals. There is no constant fear of losing the other person. Instead, there is trust built through steady actions over time. This trust grows slowly and becomes stronger with shared experiences. A healthy connection also allows space for individuality. Each person keeps their identity while still sharing their life with the other. This balance is important for long-term emotional stability. You may have experienced relationships or situations in the past where attention felt uneven or unclear. Those experiences may have made you more careful or more sensitive now. This is a natural response to emotional pain or confusion. But those experiences also help you understand what you want to avoid in the future. They help you recognize the difference between unstable attention and genuine care. Over time, your emotional understanding becomes clearer. You start to value consistency more than intensity. You start to value respect more than temporary excitement. If a meaningful connection enters your life, it will likely feel calm and steady rather than confusing or overwhelming. It will grow gradually instead of rushing quickly. Both people in such a connection usually learn to support each other naturally. They share their thoughts more openly and build trust through honest communication. There is no need to constantly prove worth or fight for attention. Instead, there is a balanced exchange of care and effort from both sides. You may also find that in such a connection, small actions matter more than big promises. Daily consistency becomes more important than dramatic words. The relationship becomes something that adds peace to life rather than stress. It feels like a safe space where both people can relax emotionally. Over time, this type of bond encourages emotional healing. It helps reduce fear, overthinking, and insecurity. It replaces them with stability and understanding. It is also important to remember that real emotional connections are not perfect. They still have challenges. But the difference is that both people try to face those challenges together instead of walking away easily. Growth continues even inside the relationship. Both individuals keep learning from each other and from life experiences. In the end, the most meaningful connections are the ones that help people become more honest, more patient, and more emotionally aware. They do not take away freedom, but instead help both people feel more complete within themselves. What you are experiencing right now can be seen as a period of inner preparation. Whether in love or in life, this preparation helps you move toward more stable and meaningful relationships in the future. Even if things feel uncertain now, change is still happening quietly. Your understanding of love is deepening, and your awareness of yourself is becoming clearer. There is a very deep reason why this message feels like it has reached you at this exact moment in your life. It is not a random coincidence or a small passing event. It feels more like a response to something inside you that has been building quietly for a long time, even if you never fully put it into words. Lately, you may have noticed a soft, emotional pressure inside your chest, or a warm and strange feeling that comes and goes without warning. Sometimes it feels like restlessness for no clear reason. At other times, it feels like quiet expectation, as if something important is close, even though nothing in your outer life clearly shows it yet. Your emotional state may feel more sensitive than usual. small things might affect your mood more deeply than before. There can be sudden waves of sadness or longing that do not have an obvious cause. Then, just as quickly, those feelings may shift into hope or calm without explanation. It may even feel like you are waiting for someone or something important, even though you have not made any plans and nothing specific is happening. This does not mean anything is wrong. It is simply a phase where your inner world is becoming more active, more aware, and more open to emotional change. In this phase, your thoughts and feelings can seem mixed or confusing. One part of you may feel strong, independent, and focused on your own path. Another part may feel a quiet desire for closeness, connection, and understanding from someone else. This back and forth is not a problem. It is part of learning what your heart truly needs. It may also feel like life is shifting in ways you cannot fully see yet. Ordinary moments may start to feel meaningful or emotionally charged. Small details in your daily routine may stand out more than before, almost as if they are pointing towards something unknown but significant. This is often a time of inner preparation. Not preparation for something dramatic or instant, but preparation for emotional growth. You are slowly becoming more aware of your own boundaries, your needs in relationships, and the kind of emotional energy you can truly connect with in a healthy way. Sometimes this process can feel uncertain. You may question your own feelings or wonder why you are more emotional than usual. But even confusion is part of understanding yourself more deeply. You are learning what feels safe, what feels right, and what no longer belongs in your life. At the same time, there is also a sense of development that goes beyond what you can directly see. It can feel like both you and another person, somewhere in life, are going through separate but connected periods of growth. Each of you is learning important lessons that shape emotional maturity and awareness. One person in this process may be learning patience, emotional responsibility, and self-reflection. They may be moving through challenges that help them release old patterns, past pain, or habits that no longer support healthy connection. Even though this process can be difficult, it creates inner stability over time. These experiences are not without meaning. They slowly shape how a person understands love, trust, and emotional balance. They replace confusion with clarity and reaction with awareness. This kind of growth cannot be rushed because it is built through experience and reflection. At the same time, you may also be changing in your own way. You may be becoming more aware of your self-worth, your emotional limits, and your need for peace in relationships. You may notice that you no longer accept the same things you once did. You may value calmness and honesty more than intensity or uncertainty. There can be moments when life feels like it is not moving forward, but underneath that stillness, inner development continues. Even silence in life can hold change. Even waiting can be a form of preparation for emotional clarity. It is also possible that your understanding of love is slowly changing. You may be moving away from ideas that involve confusion, emotional pressure, or instability. Instead, you may start to value consistency, respect, and emotional safety more deeply than before. In this way, any future connection that enters your life would likely feel different from what you experienced in the past. It would not be built on pressure or uncertainty. It would grow slowly, with understanding and patience becoming more important than intensity or urgency. In a healthy connection, both people learn to communicate more openly. There is less guessing and more clarity. There is more listening and less misunderstanding. Both individuals feel safe enough to be honest without fear of judgment or rejection. Respect becomes natural rather than forced. It appears in actions, not just words. It shows in the way each person pays attention, remembers details, and stays consistent even in small things. These quiet actions often matter more than big promises. In such a bond, both people support each other's personal growth. No one is expected to shrink themselves or hide their individuality. Instead, both people are encouraged to grow, improve, and move forward in their own lives while still sharing a connection. A balanced relationship does not create fear of loss or control. Instead, it builds trust through steady behavior over time. It allows both individuals to feel emotionally safe while still maintaining their independence. You may have experienced situations in the past where attention felt unstable or unclear. Those experiences can leave emotional impressions that make you more cautious in the present. This caution is not a weakness. It is a form of learning and self-protection. Over time, these experiences help you recognize what is real and what is not. You begin to notice the difference between emotional inconsistency and genuine care. You start to value actions that remain steady instead of words that change often. If a meaningful connection enters your life, it will likely feel calm rather than chaotic. It will not feel like something you need to chase or force. Instead, it will feel like something that develops naturally over time. In such a connection, both people support each other without constant struggle. There is space for honesty, rest, and understanding. There is also space for growth without pressure or fear. Small daily actions become more important than dramatic expressions. Consistency becomes more valuable than intensity. Emotional safety becomes more important than excitement alone. A healthy bond feels like peace rather than stress. It does not drain your energy. Instead, it supports your emotional balance and helps you feel more grounded in your own life. At the same time, real relationships are not without challenges. Differences and difficulties still exist. But in a strong connection, both people choose to face those challenges together instead of avoiding them or walking away immediately. This shared effort becomes part of emotional growth. It strengthens understanding and deepens trust over time. It also builds emotional maturity on both sides. What you are experiencing now can be seen as a period of inner alignment. You are slowly becoming more aware of who you are emotionally and what kind of connection fits your life in a healthy way. Even uncertainty is guiding you toward clarity. There may be moments when you feel hopeful, followed by moments of doubt. This shifting emotional pattern is part of adjusting to deeper self-awareness. It does not mean something is wrong. It means you are changing internally. As this continues, your values may shift. You may start caring less about surface impressions and more about emotional depth. You may become more focused on peace, trust, and meaningful presence in your relationships. If a strong emotional connection does appear in your life, it will likely match this new version of you that is still forming. It will not require you to lose yourself. Instead, it will allow you to remain fully yourself while still being connected to someone else. In this type of bond, both people remain whole individuals. They do not complete each other in a way that creates dependence. Instead, they share life while maintaining their own identity and strength. Trust becomes something built slowly through experience. It grows through consistency, understanding, and shared effort. It is not rushed or forced, but developed naturally. Over time, such a connection creates emotional stability. It helps reduce fear, overthinking, and uncertainty. It brings more clarity and calm into daily life. Even the idea of waiting becomes different in this state. It no longer feels empty or painful. It becomes a space of preparation, where emotional readiness develops quietly in the background. You may also notice that your priorities in life are shifting. Things that once seemed very important may feel less significant now. Instead, you may find yourself valuing peace, emotional honesty, and simple, meaningful moments. This shift is important because emotional maturity changes what you are able to receive and give in relationships. It prepares you for deeper connection, not through expectation, but through inner stability. At times, you may feel drawn inward, wanting more solitude or quiet reflection. This is not distance from life. It is a way for your mind and emotions to reorganize and settle into new understanding. If certain people, habits, or situations begin to leave your life, it may feel uncomfortable at first. But these changes often create space for new emotional experiences that are more aligned with your current growth. You are moving away from versions of yourself that needed to chase approval or prove worth. You are moving toward a version that understands value without needing external confirmation. This transformation is gradual, not sudden. It happens through reflection, experience, and emotional awareness. Each step builds a stronger sense of self. In time, what once felt uncertain begins to feel clearer. What once felt distant begins to feel more understood. And what once felt confusing begins to feel more balanced. You are not standing still, even if it sometimes feels that way. You are in a process of becoming more emotionally grounded, more self-aware, and more open to healthy connection. And as this continues, your understanding of love becomes less about imagination and more about real emotional safety, respect, and steady presence.